a mother being able to raise a boy into a man. And my response was, I did not ignore it. I just am well aware that most men cannot tell me what it means to be a man.
So if you're going to address the problems of manhood, you definitely got to say, like, what does it mean to be a man? Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, I feel like everybody's kind of dying to want to know, like, what does it mean to be a man?
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is about a topic that came up underneath one of my videos. It was the Kevin Samuels response video, and that is that a woman cannot raise a boy to be a man. And with that statement being made, I decided to ask, well, what does it mean to be a man? So ladies, this is really a response video, and I hope that you listen to the response of exactly what it means. And y'all know I don't get offended when people disagree with me. I mean, I'm a grown woman. A lot of people have disagreed with me before. So unlike most people who get offended, I'm definitely not offended. So this particular comment comes from James M. And I'm going to share his comment on screen so you guys can read along with me as well. And the topic is, can a woman raise a boy to be a man? And what does it mean to be a man? So his comment says, I agree. It takes two to raise children, but it takes a man to teach a boy how to be a man, and that's obvious, right? I can't teach femininity. I can't relate to being a woman. He could actually speak on feminine energy unless he's like a sociopath and he doesn't have emotions. But I get it. I digress. Side note, being a nail tech ain't no money. You're too smart for that argument. It's not a high demand job with benefits like a police officer. And he went into talking about how COVID-19, you know, salons and things were closed while police officers were still working. Pretty much him feeling like being a nail tech is not really a career. If you're not spending your own money paying for your wife, your daughter, or somebody to go get their nails done, their eyebrows done, their eyelashes done, a wax, pedicures, how would you know how much people are really spending within this industry? You don't participate within this industry with your own money. The nail industry makes a lot of money. Knocks out that whole argument. It's not that nail techs cannot make six figures. It's how much work are you willing to put in as a nail technician to get to that six figures, or maybe even $1 million+ a year. It's possible. I know a lot of people like to look down on the beauty industry, but beauty is a multi-billion-dollar industry. So yes, a nail tech, a hairstylist, a makeup artist can make more than a doctor. I'm sorry we didn't go to school for a whole bunch of years. We can make that amount of money when we put focus and determination behind what it is that we want to do. You completely ignored my point that a boy needs to learn how to be a man from a man, and I find it quite interesting that black women complain about how ineffective black men are, yet when a man suggests that you let an effective black man like a police officer have custody of his child, you're shocked. I was not at all shocked within that video. My only shock was, why did Kevin Samuels feel like this particular woman couldn't reinvent herself when he has a whole video about how he reinvented himself? So if he could reinvent himself, isn't it possible for other people to do it as well? That was my only thing. I never said anything negative about Kevin Samuels within that video. I just feel like people are in their emotions and their feminine energy. So just the mere fact that I mentioned Kevin Samuels, they automatically assumed that it was all negative stuff. But that's feminine energy, and it shows you guys that men have feminine energy too, right? Secondly, you and I have no idea how well they co-parent, and although I'm not an expert in being a nail tech, I know about being a man and raising one. How many single mothers I've seen in desperate need of a male role model because they caught their boys trying on heels and makeup. Keep that foolishness up and you're gonna raise a whole lot of black men nail techs. This was so emotional. This is not the type of conversation I normally have with the men that are in my life.
What is it to be a man? I can give you a definition, and the definition I give you can also be used for a woman. Unless you start talking about some physical, like the physical nature of a man.
the gender part, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing that you can use with anything somebody's always gonna listen to somebody else that they feel had the experience over somebody else is just telling them what they feel or what they done read or know. Like, you can tell your son, yeah, you should do this and do that. Okay. Once he hears from a man, he's gonna listen to it a little bit more because he's like, yeah, you can relate because you know how I'm taking it in or how I comprehended the situation, how, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He looking at you like, Mom, okay, well, yeah, I mean, I hear you, but you ain't been a man. You know what I mean? You're telling me from what you assume.
Exactly. But yeah, I get it, okay? No big deal. There are a lot of grown men who are not gay, bisexual, who own and operate nail salons, and they're making millions of dollars a year. Not only that, I have 2 sons, and neither one of my sons have ever tried on makeup or heels. I know there are a lot of men currently in the world who was raised by their mothers who never tried on makeup and heels. I mean, that's like saying if that was true for the whole, that means all men should be gay that's being raised by a single parent. And I really hate that whole term of just saying a single mother household. Let's start saying fatherless household, because when you continue to say single mother, it kind of make a group of people feel like they could dismiss the responsibility of the father being absent in the home. So fatherless homes, okay? Let's just stay on topic, because I don't know how we got to little boys trying on makeup and makeup and heels. And as far as the nail environment during the COVID-19, yeah, a lot of nail salons, hair salons closed. But you guys, this is the digital age, okay? We have websites. A nail tech can create a product where nails are already painted, put it in a box, and sell it to their customers. You could sell eyelashes, you could sell brow tinting, you could sell makeup. There's a whole lot of things that people will still buy online, and which they did. You could go to my Instagram page and see that a lot of my clients were still making money even during COVID-19. Said I completely ignored his comment about a woman being a mother being able to raise a boy into a man. And my response was, I did not ignore it. I just am well aware that most men cannot tell me what it means to be a man. And the men who can verbalize it have many different answers. What does it mean to be a man to you? I'm curious to know your definition. Now, I didn't ask this particular question because I was trying to be smart, because I was trying to snap back at him. I really wanted to know what his definition of what it meant to be a man, because he had stated that a woman can't raise a boy to be a man. So I wanted to know what was his definition of what it means to be a man. So before I get to his definition, I want to show you guys a couple of clips so you don't hear me as a woman tell you what it means to be a man. Listen to some men tell you ladies what it means to be a man. And before I drop these clips, ladies, from now on, when you meet a man, please ask him this question. Ask every last man that comes into your life, what does it mean to him to be a man? Because men like to say women don't know a good man, women don't know how to pick a man. So since we don't know, it's important that we ask a man what it means to be a man, right? So
to be a man in 2018.
I think that this is an incredibly important time for men to evaluate just what it is to be a man.
I think being a man in 2018 is about ripping up the rule book.
We have to evolve. You shouldn't be the same man today as you were yesterday.
To be empathetic.
To be aware, that means to listen, to learn, to pay attention.
To be yourself, whatever that may mean.
10 years from now, you shouldn't be the same man as you were today. So I think it's that evolution and growth and being authentic in that space.
It's owning your vulnerability and waking up to your responsibility.
I just remember just reading in 1 Corinthians when Paul was just saying, you know, when I was a child, I thought like a child, I spoke like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things. And just kind of hearing everything you guys are saying just kind of just goes into, you know, what he was saying. Also, like, just, I feel like so many boys or men or whatever you want to call it nowadays, like, they're still living like they're 16 when they're 30 or they're 40. And like really throwing away those childish ways, saying, yo, we're not going to be Mr. Party Animal, you know, like we're going to take responsibility.
When I was a little boy and I had a girlfriend, she couldn't spend her money. And sometimes she had more than me. But when all my money was done that I spent for both of us to have an ice cream from the ice cream parlor or some little thing that we would do, I would not let her spend her money on me. Because a real man don't let a woman take care of him. Can no woman love a man that she's taken care of? You become her child.
Guess what? I don't care if it is true. If that's not what you want to be true for you, it ain't got to be true for you if you believe you deserve something different. What's true for me as a black man in this world is that 1 out of every 4 black men go through the prison system at some point in his life. I ain't been through the prison system. What's true for me right now as a black person in America is that majority of us below the poverty line. And that we struggling, and that we are at risk, and we're not supposed to be millionaires. We're not supposed to earn 6 figures. We're not supposed to own our own company because of what we come from. But I say I refuse for that to be my truth because I serve God. And you can't tell me what's going to be my truth when I know that my God is on the throne. So regardless of what the statistics say, I won't be one of them. They say people who get married in my age group, 60% of them end up in divorce at 5 years. Not me. I'm going on 14 years of marriage. You hear what I'm telling you? Because I speak what I want to be in my life.
Be a man. What does that mean? Be a man.
My ultimate goal as a man is to change lives. When I leave this planet, I want to say I did everything I could do to change brothers' lives whose paths I crossed. Brother, I've transcended to a man that's light years above red pill. I'm a man now that's fully aware that everything that comes into my life, that everyone that comes into my circle is there because I created that, right? And the thing is, I'm unapologetic for letting brothers know this, even if it's outside the lines of the institution, you know? So what do you call a man that's fully aware of this? Is he red pill? Is he blue pill? Is he purple pill? He's neither. He's a god.
36% of men alter their personality to appear more masculine. Do you guys feel like you're currently altering your personality to be more manly?
Why do you think that is?
I mean, that's a pride thing.
I think it could be a defense mechanism, depending on your environment. Happy-go-lucky child, and as soon as I went to secondary school, it was like going into a zoo. So I had to get this kind of armor on me, do you know what I'm saying?
I suppose that's the moment that you stop talking about your emotions so much and put up a mask and a bit.
I think as men, we struggle to do the emotions kind of thing, and the masculinity obviously is a front for a lot of things that we're trying to hide.
At what point does he discover he's not a man?
How'd it go? I'm guessing that means you didn't get it.
Alright, so what y'all just saw was a trailer for my new short film called I Am a Man, which will be dropping this Sunday right here on YouTube. I've been in Costa Rica, that's why I haven't really been active on YouTube. Over there, what it means to be a man is completely different about what it means to be a man over here. Over here, we always worried about working, we worried about, you know what I'm saying, trying to fulfill our potential. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to be somebody that other people look up to. Over there, they don't even worry about that shit. It's like they just live carefree. Their motto over there is pura vida. You know what I'm saying? It's like pure life. That's what they call it. No pressure over there to try to be that nigga. You feel me? Like everybody over here, you know what I'm saying? We scrambling for the top spot or trying to make it. They ain't trying to make shit over there. Live their life. They just trying to be, you feel me? Have fun. Be with their family and live stress-free. We have more shit than they do, but in my opinion, they live a higher quality of life. They don't really have as nice shit as we have, but they're much happier people over there.
And so a lot of men have a question about what it means to be a man.
Like, yeah, what is it? What is manhood? What is it to be a man?
It's a little confusing. In fact, it's very confusing.
Manhood to me, I have no idea. Certainly.
I know for me personally, it's even to this day a struggle to figure out which idea of masculinity you should accept.
and what men are supposed to do now if we're not supposed to be waging war and pushing people and dominating people.
What are the ideas I have about what it means to be a man, and how are they currently affecting my life and my relationships? And do I want to keep them? Do I want to change them? Which parts do I like? Which parts do I not like?
If you look up in Merriam-Webster, you'll see that man means the human male, the bipedal primate, mammal, the male version of that. It also means human being. Often they talk about what is good for man. They mean human beings. Another aspect that's woven into this tapestry of what it means to be a man is bravery and courage.
Manhood. Manhood. So the moment you go into your emotions without your reason, you reduce yourself as a man. You lose all value. Which is why you guys continually to have these scuffles and arguments about everything. Because the woman don't look at you and say, this is way too petty for me to go into this thing with him. That's a serious man. He's serious about his manhood. If he ain't serious about nothing else in his life, he's serious about the fundamental principles by which he lives his life by. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's the problem.
Here is one more. We asked, you answered. This is what it means to make a man or to be a man in 2020. And I'm just going to go over the larger titles. Compassion, respect, being responsible, having ambition, having integrity, having dignity, resilience, being self-aware, being vulnerable, and it's like a couple more. Patience, humility, and courage. Okay, ladies, so I gave you guys all of these examples because I wanted to make it really clear that not all men have the same definition of what it means to be a man to them. Not only that, but as we all go through life, whether you're male or female, woman or man, our definitions of what it means to be a man or what it means to be a woman will change. So instead of getting upset because you listening to men tell you what a real woman is and what she should have and what she shouldn't have, what she should do and what she shouldn't do, look for a man whose definition of what it means to be a man to him aligns with what you believe a man is for you. If you believe in a man that's like a Tony Gaskins, then you should be asking that man, what does it mean to be a man to him? And it should align with that. I'm not saying you're going to find a Tony Gaskins. I'm saying the principles of what it means to be a man. And the same goes for men as well. They should be asking a woman, what does it mean to be a woman to them? Because the definition to a woman could be that she twerk all day on Instagram. She could show off her body. She could be sexually free. Is that wrong? For her, it's not wrong. That's her definition of being a woman, to have freedom to do what she want when she want. So he should find himself in alignment with the definition of a woman that doesn't align with that, because that's not his definition of what it means to be a woman. So what does it mean to be a man? It's going to differ depending on the type of man or the man that you ask. So now that you guys have seen all of the responses from those many men, what it means to be a man to them, this is James M. response to my question about what it means to be a man. Simple. A man protects, provides, and builds. He leads, and women and children follow. Okay, that's cool. And let me add, what is a woman's responsibility? I don't know where that question came from because I didn't ask him what was the responsibility of a man. I asked, what does it mean to be a man? Lastly, if you have to ask me what it means to be a man, how is it you are so confident that a woman can teach a boy how to be a man? Make that make sense. This again is feminine energy being displayed within a man because, okay, let me give you why I say that. To me, this kind of comes off as if this particular man has had a lot of experience from women not respecting what he has to say. It could be at work, it could be in his personal life, it could be within his family. I'm not really sure because I don't know what me having to ask what it means to be a man automatically was assumed that mean I didn't know what it meant to be a man to me. Or I've never heard a man describe to me what it means to be a man. And I gave him some links to a bunch of different websites and things for him to view what I was saying, that a lot of men tell me different answers when I ask him this question. Because I didn't say this to be funny or to have an attitude. I truly, deeply wanted to know what his definition of what it meant to be a man was. Okay, so that's why I say his response is almost as if he's coming off because he assumed that I'm trying to be funny, or he doesn't really know what a man means, when I really genuinely wanted to know his answer of what it meant to be a man. So he says, as for these multiple definitions of what a man is, I don't know what you're talking about. What manhood is has been clearly defined for centuries. The problem is too many black women date and raise boys that stay boys. Normally, if a woman asks me what's the definition of a man, I tell her to ask her father. Why though? See what I mean by feminine energy? It's like that snap, snap, snap back type of response. Why would you go tell a woman that's coming to you, asking you what it means to be a man, to go ask her father? I'm trying not to laugh, but I don't understand the animosity when I'm trying to have an open conversation with a man. And then, like I said, a lot of men say women don't know what it means to be a man. They don't know how to pick a man. They wouldn't know a man if a man was in front of you. So if you have that knowledge, that's the knowledge that you have retained, that you see in women, and a woman comes and asks you, what does it mean to be a man? You would turn around and tell her, go ask your father? Okay, I digress. Too many of black people didn't have a father in their homes, and that's why they can't see the value of one. So if you know too many black people didn't have a father in their home, and a woman came up to you and asked you genuinely, what does it mean to be a man? You would tell her to go ask her father, knowing that too many black people didn't have a father in their homes? So your goal isn't to actually help the community. You want to keep the community as it is by telling women who may have grew up without a father to go ask their father, but you know that they didn't really have a father in their home. Please make that make sense to me, because I'm just, I don't know what to say. At this point, I pretty much told him, okay, you know, thank you for responding.
No, I just don't want to argue with you about stupid shit.
And sharing your perspective, because I felt like I wasn't going to get anywhere with this particular man, which is okay with me. He went into, you know, books and verses in the Bible about what a man and a woman is. And which I told him that, you know, I had already asked my father that, and he passed away last January. He gave his condolences, and then again he went back into the Christian thing. But this is what I was telling you ladies in my previous video about masculine energy in a man. And 3 of those characteristic traits of masculinity, they're not the only characteristic traits, but those 3 was logic, okay, mathematical precision. It's how a man deals with you. He's thought about it, right? So if he really thought about it, being logical as a man, if women, a lot of women grow up without fathers in their home, and this lady comes to me and asks me, or this young woman comes to me and asks me, what does it mean to be a man? Maybe this is my opportunity to help our community and let her know what it means to be a man, instead of saying, go ask your father. That's logic, as well as being focused. That means staying on the topic instead of going through all of these other topics. And that turned into a whole bunch of different stuff, which I won't go into, because in the comment section, that's none of my business about what this man is doing in his personal life. What is it that a woman can't do when it comes to raising a boy to be a man? Because his particular answer was to protect, to provide, and to build. So, can a woman protect? Absolutely. A woman protects herself, whether she's single, whether she has children. She knows how to protect herself. She can fight, she can do boxing, she can go buy her a gun. Can she provide? Absolutely. She has her own job, she has her own place, she has her own money. She's provided for herself until a man comes into her life. Can she build? His response was, women have never built in life. It's not necessarily that women haven't built, but more like there have been a lot of laws that prevented women from going into these type of career jobs, right? Even now, if you Google it online, it shows that there are still a lot of laws and discrimination against women working in construction and those type of jobs. It's not that women can't build, it's that they haven't been provided the opportunity to build at the same rate as a man. Now, with this being said, please understand that I in no way believe that a woman can take the place of a father in the home. I in no way believe that a woman can take the place of a man. I personally believe that we need both the masculine and the feminine and becoming into one the same way that the Most High planned for it to be from the very beginning. Now, when it comes to can a woman raise a boy to be a man, most of these characteristics that you heard all of those men say what it meant to be a man, these are traits that a woman can actually teach her son. Okay, so let me say this as a mother myself, a mother of sons. Those characteristic traits, we can absolutely teach our sons those characteristic traits. But as a mother raising sons, let me tell you that it's a whole different level when I tell my son something from my perspective and they hear it from their father, or they hear it from their granddad, or they hear it from one of their coaches or a male teacher, or, you know, whatever type of extracurricular activities that they're in that also have men in. It doesn't mean that you can't teach those characteristic traits, but it's just different coming from a man. Because although I could teach those traits, I have never been in a man's body. So I don't know what it feels like to have those type of hormones of testosterone, to feel angry, to feel feelings of rage, to feel like the world doesn't give you a space for you to be emotional or to have emotions, and the hardships of having to prove yourself that you're worthy, and that having a job is attached to being a man. Being a protector is attached to being a man. Those type of things I don't experience and have never experienced on the level of a man. So although I could teach my son as a mother those characteristics, if you're saying those characteristics is what makes a man, I can never give him or them the perspective that they can relate to as a man. Because that man has those same hormones. That man's mind is made up the way they deal with the world. And a woman don't know, even if she loves her husband and she wants to be there for her husband or her sons or a brother or a dad, we have no idea what it feels like to actually live in the body of a man. Just like they have no idea what it really feels like to live in the body of a woman. So if you have like single dads, I have guy friends who are single dads who are raising daughters, they could teach their daughter good quality traits to what they believe a good woman is to them. But it's going to hit different when it comes from an actual woman. Not only that, but boys, if you're a single mom and you don't have males in your life, I feel like it's really important to put your son in activities where there are men. Sports, it could be karate, it could be in programs. Like I put my son in a nonprofit organization that work with kids. And it gave them the opportunity not only work with kids, but be around men in that sector, learn about finances and all types of things coming from a male perspective. I told my son stuff several times, and then they would come back and be like, oh, such and such, Mr. Such and Such said this today, and man, it hit me so hard. And I'm looking at them like, I told you that 2 months ago. So it's kind of like not taking it personal, but it's different when they can physically see it in a man. You know, they feel like, okay, because he's a man, he can relate to everything that I'm also feeling. As a woman, I can't do that. Although I could teach them to be great men, I can never relate to what it feels like to be a man. And a man can never relate to what it feels like to be a woman. They don't have the same hormones. They don't have boobs. They don't have a yoni, a uterus. They don't have any of that. So although they could look at a woman and say, this is a good woman. And we can definitely, as women, and say, this is a good man. We don't know what it feels like to be the opposite sex. So you guys down in the comment section, tell me, do you feel like a woman can raise a boy to be a man? And what does it mean to be a man? Shoot, what does it mean to be a woman? And I'll see you guys in the next video.